The first snow of the season arrived quietly, drifting down like a held breath finally released. It dusted the high pines, softened the jagged rocks, and turned the long valley silver. From the ridge above the river, Jackie stood with her binoculars pressed to her eyes, scanning the familiar sky. She had been coming to this lookout for years, ever since she was old enough to carry a thermos and sit still long enough to watch. Every winter brought the same question, the same hope. Would they return? A sharp cry answered her before she saw them. Shadow came first, slicing across the pale morning like an ink stroke, wings wide and steady. Jackie smiled. She always knew him by the way he flew, confident and calm, as if the wind itself had made room. A heartbeat later, Jackie spotted the second shape, smaller but fierce, cutting tighter turns. "Jackie," she whispered, laughing at the coincidence of names as she always did. "You're back." Jackie and Shadow had returned to the valley again. But even in those first moments, Jackie felt it. This season was different. The eagles had been coming back every year since Jackie was 10. The local wildlife center had named them years ago, and the names stuck, spreading from ranger reports to school projects to social media clips watched by thousands. Jackie had grown up alongside them in a way, marking time by their arrivals and departures. But the winter of 2025-2026 wasn't like the others. For one thing, the weather had changed. The cold came late and uneven, broken by strange warm spells that melted the river ice just enough to make it dangerous. Fish patterns shifted, prey moved differently, even the trees seemed unsure whether to rest or keep growing. And then there was Jackie. She wasn't 10 anymore, she was 16 now, taller, quieter, carrying a notebook instead of just binoculars. This was her last season before graduation, and she knew it. Everything felt sharper because of that. The sky bluer, the wind colder, the stakes higher. She packed up and headed down to the ranger station, boots crunching on frost. "They're back," she told Mr. Alvarez, the senior ranger, who looked up from a weather map pinned with red flags. "I figured they would be," he said, smiling. "They always find their way home." Jackie hesitated. "Do you think they'll stay?" Mr. Alvarez studied her for a moment. "That depends on how the season treats them. And how we do. The first weeks went well. Jackie and Shadow rebuilt their nest in the tall cottonwood near the bend of the river. Jackie watched them trade branches, Shadow bringing thick sticks while Jackie carefully fitted them into place. It was teamwork refined over years, a quiet conversation made of movement. Jackie sketched them every afternoon after school. She noted the times Shadow hunted, the routes Jackie flew, the way they took turns guarding the nest. Her science teacher encouraged her to turn the notes into a research project, maybe even submit it to a youth conservation journal. But the signs of trouble crept in slowly. The river swelled unexpectedly after a midwinter thaw, flooding the lower banks. One afternoon, Jackie noticed Jackie the eagle circling longer than usual, her calls sharper. "Shadow,"